Every day I come across women who say, I want to write a book and I want to get my message out. But here's the problem. We often focus on your message instead of the message that will impact other people. I made that mistake many years ago. In fact, I was pregnant with our first baby, and I spent all of my time writing a book called Amanda's Story. It was my story of my life, but to date, out of all of the books that I have written, it is my least selling book. Because here's the truth. People don't really care about your story unless your story fits into their bigger story. Today, I'm going to teach you how I've learned from so many mistakes that I made and turned my expertise into knowledge in books, and that in 2024 alone, I made $200,000 from one self-published book. No publisher and no Amazon. I'm going to show you how to do it in 3 simple steps. This is what I teach and why Feminine Woman Academy is so important. Number 1, do not write a book just to make money. If your only goal is profit, people will sense your desperation. Write with purpose and write because you actually have something to say and people to help. Your message should not only motivate, but it should also move people to take action in their own lives. The truth is, too many people are self-consumed with how people can serve them, instead of realizing that a book is about serving other people. When I realized that if I put my story a part of a bigger picture and people see themselves in that level of success, then I am teaching them how to step into their next level of potential for themselves. And too many times people come up with the notion of writing a book simply because they just want another stream of income. And the biggest way, honestly, to get another stream of income is to make yourself so in demand that you can literally sell anything. I always say so many times people focus on the book or focus on the program or focus on whatever you're selling, your tea or your candles. But what really needs to sell is you. It's not the package that you're selling. You become the package where you have to learn how to sell yourself. When it comes to a book, you have to ask yourself, is it actually serving anyone or is it just serving my own dream? And I love that you want to write a book, but I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made. I spent so much of my pregnancy, so much of my first baby's infant years trying to get this book off the ground. And I didn't have the expertise that I have now, and I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. I just knew, being raised in church all of my life, it seemed to be a dream of so many people was to write a book. But I'm going to show you a different way where you can actually monetize your expertise. So again, step 1, do you actually have a message that moves people to action? So then you have to look back at your life and ask yourself, have you moved to action? Do you have a point A to point D or G? How have you transformed your own life? When I had an infant and I was pregnant, yes, I had experienced some, small amounts of success, but not to the level where I was able to move people to action back then. So again, even though I had a great story, which is still a part of my story, it didn't move people. And what I don't want to happen to you, that happened to me, is you spend all of this time, put all of your heart into this book, and then you're expecting it to just fly off the shelves. And then you realize you only make a couple of dollars. When I mentioned at the beginning that I self-published my book, and I don't go through a publisher. Many years ago, we did go through a publisher. And I didn't know much about publishing back then. I thought that it was a big dream to work with a publisher. But me being how I am in the level of excellence that I have, I wanted to be able to write off on the book cover. I was not pleased with the book cover. And I realized that if I can't really put my own kind of flair into it, I won't feel good about it. I don't feel good about promoting something that I don't think is excellent. I really prayed to have an excellent spirit. And I realized that publishing with a company I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be told a certain amount of words that I had to write, or that the book cover had to be this way, or that things had to be this way. I really wanted to do things a different way. And so I didn't like the publishing route where you work with a publishing company, an agency, and then Amazon. I do have books on Amazon. If you so happen to find them on Amazon, I have not literally logged into my Amazon account probably in at least 8 or 9 years. I don't promote Amazon, and here's why. Do you know that if you publish a book and you put it on Amazon, what I say is basically you work for Amazon? Because let's just say you write a book and you price it. You say, I'm going to put my book on Amazon for $7.99. Well, guess what? You get 70% and Amazon gets 30%. So then you can figure out that math. What is 30% and then what is 70%? Perfect, right? And then let's just say you say, well, I don't want to sell it for $7.99. I want to sell it for $15.99. Congratulations, because now Amazon gets 70% and you get 30%. A lot of people don't understand how Amazon royalties work, and I don't work for Amazon. What I realized was that I want to self-publish my book for several different reasons. Biggest one being, I actually want to know who I'm sending these books to. I realized that by going through this publishing company and going through Amazon, I don't know who I'm talking to. I love every time my team tells me, oh, we just shipped a book to Nigeria. We just shipped a book to the UK. We shipped a book to this person. I love the little details that I get to put in the experience that I can't personalize through Amazon. So all of these is my desire to not just show up, but to over deliver. I love going above and beyond. So that's a little bit of the backstory on why I self-publish and why I don't sell my books on Amazon. And every time we get that question, I can't find your book on Amazon, I know two things. Number one, you probably didn't read my Feminine Woman Habits book or website. We spell out everything and why we don't sell on Amazon. Or number two, there's always a person who sees the price and they say, oh my gosh, maybe I can get it on Amazon cheaper. And that's the problem with the marketplace. I don't allow the marketplace to determine the value that I am sharing in my books. And so when you self-publish it, you get a chance to set whatever price that you want to set. And I would never set my books at $9.99 or even $15.99 or even $20.99, $20.99 out of hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've spent in coaching, years of expertise that I literally packaged in one book. You kind of can't even pay for that. So I priced it according to not even the value that is being demonstrated, but according to the value that I knew would attract the right type of person. Because some people will immediately turn up their nose and say, I would never pay for that. But the right people, the high achieving woman, the woman who cares more about the payoff than the price, it's a no-brainer. In fact, I asked some of my students this. I said, could you imagine me actually having a book for $10.99 or $20.99? And they all said, absolutely not. I priced it according to not only the value that I wanted in the marketplace, but also the type of women that I know would benefit from what I'm teaching. Because the truth is, high achieving women want high achieving processes. They want high achieving solutions. They don't want just a book of good motivation. They want a book of case studies. They want a book to show them how to step into the next level. They want a book on personal development. So I purposely priced it in a way that I know I'm attracting the person who even has the bandwidth to receive what I'm saying. A lot, but this is what I'm saying. What is your message moving people to do? That book alone has moved women to go to their husbands and say, I have had a hard heart. That book has moved women to build deeper bonds with their children. That book has moved women to realize that just like Amanda Ferguson came from nothing, eating cornbread for dinner some days, just like Coco Chanel, whose mom died at a young age and whose father abandoned her and then had to go live with the nuns, built this empire, fashion empire. They're seeing case studies. They're seeing the how-to. They're seeing the exact steps to step into the next level of potential. This was not for everyone. It's for a very specific audience. It is a message that moves and has moved thousands of women. Number 2, and this one is super important. Do not hide away. Write your book in secret and then re-emerge with your book cover to say, book is coming soon. People don't just buy books. They buy an experience. And you are that experience. Involve them in your journey. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people making is they say, I'm going to go and write a book. And they go somewhere in a corner for 6 months and we don't know what they're doing. And then they reemerge. The entire book is written. They post a book cover and they say a book is coming out. And then they have all of these comments, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. The day the book goes live, they're wondering, why did those comments not turn into sales? Why did those likes not turn into purchases? Because your book is an experience. We need to be involved. When I rolled out my book, I announced that I was coming out with a book. To my email list, I have a community, I have Instagram. I announced what was coming so that they could be involved. When I had the gifts that I send, I didn't surprise, and I still kept some surprises up my sleeve, but I let them know, hey, I'm thinking about doing this journal or this journal. Which one do you like? I involved them a part of the experience. I wanted to see in what ways I could continue to serve them. And this is why so many people are so disappointed. It's because they didn't build a buzz. You have to build a buzz about your book. You have to build an experience with your book. Why do you think people line up for Apple, for the new iPhone? It's not necessarily because the next year is just so amazing. It's just because there's a buzz, there's a culture, there's a type of excitement around the product. We don't feel your excitement from your book cover. We don't feel your excitement from your one post. We don't feel your excitement that you have posted that same book cover 4 times. Give me something else. Pull me into your world. Pull me into your experience. But that means you have to be self-aware. Are you an experience? Or is this a money grab? Step 3, write a book that the market wants, not just what you want. Did you write this book for your audience's desires or just for your own dreams? People pay for solutions to their problems, not your passion project. Did the market actually want this book? Or did you just want this book? And it's okay to have passion projects and things that maybe just want to get out and things that maybe you don't care about making a real profit from it. And that's fine. But for those of you who know, I have been disappointed. The only people who bought my book were a couple of friends. My family didn't even buy my book. And let me just insert a little something there. Your family is not probably your target audience. Honestly, out of the couple $100,000 I made in 2024 from my book, I don't think not one of my family members purchased my book. You know why? Because they're probably not my target audience, and I wouldn't dare put the weight on my family to build my business. If you're putting the weight on your family or your friends to get your sales, you probably are missing something in the messaging or the experience or something like that. I built something that I knew was wanted in the marketplace. How did I know that? Because there was a gap. There was a gap. See, when you go where there is a gap, people often say there are riches in the niches. It's actually niche, but it rhymes. So what they're saying is the more you niche and have a specialty, the more that you can have way more profit, way more impact, because there's nothing else like it. When you think of anything that is your couture shop versus a mass-produced product, your couture will always go for more money because it's rare. I saw a gap in between personal development, etiquette, and Christianity. Either there was a book about personal development, but it missed the faith mark. Or there was a book only about faith, but it missed the business and the personal development. And then maybe there was an etiquette that missed both of them. And so I went where there was a gap. And I knew that there was no other book out there like that, because I know that that's something that I would have always wanted. I truly believe that you will reproduce after your own kind. Because I am a Christian woman grounded in my faith, I mean unshakable, okay? But I've also grown into this level of success because I am committed to personal development. One of the biggest things that I see Christian people do is they only focus on their spiritual development and not their personal development. Think about Daniel. He had an excellent spirit. He was smart. He was astute, but he was skilled in his work. The Bible often talks about people who are diligent workers. And so I realized that there has been a big gap there where a lot of Christians they believe in the faith part, but not in the works part. Faith without works is dead. Well, part of that personal development is the works. I have to do the work. God won't study the books for me. God won't enroll in the coaching programs for me. God won't seek out the coaches for me, but he will place that desire in me that I need to nurture and I need to grow it. So after spending well over a couple $100,000 myself into coaching, I knew that I wanted a central book that could merge all of those worlds together. And that's why I've been able to monetize this book in such a huge way. People know that, number one, I love God with everything in me. Number two, I am not only passionate about my message, but I am called. This is a calling. This is my assignment from God. And I know that. And I know that when people watch that, they know that. And number three, I have expertise in this field. That not only have I taken a copious amount of coaching programs, but I have certifications in etiquette. I have had coaching classes in coaching, personal development coaches where I paid so much money to be in so many rooms to show up for myself first, so that way I can also serve other people. People really don't believe what you say. They believe what you embody. And this is exactly why Feminine Woman Academy is so important, because I teach women how to grow in feminine leadership, how to make over their lives so that they're not only seen as an expert, but they're seen as an authority. And when you are seen as an authority, you can charge what you want because you'll be in demand. You can't make demands until you're in demand. You can charge what you want. You can show up in a different way, and guess what? You can 2x, 3x, or maybe even 10x your life. I'm speaking as a woman who just 12 years ago was wondering why I was only making 5 sales, to literally every single day getting some person purchasing my book, whether that's an audio book, whether that's a VIP bundle, or whether that's the hardcover copy, because they realize this is truly not only my purpose and my assignment, but that my book and my message and my programs, they get results. Because guess what? I first got the result for myself. Well, as I end this, I want to ask you a question. Is the book that you want to do, has it gotten results for you first? And has it transformed your own life? And have you gone through all of the steps that I've said here? In 2025, I have a couple of opportunities for you, which is my VIP day. Now, that's definitely not for everyone because it is a 6-figure, that's right, 6-figure offer where people actually will pay me 6 figures for me to show them how to do this in all of the steps, but to do it in a way that they can have their own six-figure book launch. And if you may say, oh my gosh, I would love to grow into a point where I'm able to do this, then guess what? Start with Feminine Woman Academy. That's the place where you learn how to show up in your authority as a feminine, faith-filled leader and as an expert who no longer has to settle for the salary that your boss has set. You no longer have to settle for low-paying clients, but you can become what you want. You can charge what you want, and you can step into a place of limitless abundance. Until next time, I want to coach you. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be a great fit for each other. Check the description box and start there.